Hi, good day. We are the group 3. This video is for educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor, Mr. Rolder Ardines, to use this as an educational material. Hi, I'm Engine Cadet ROMA KLARC MATHEW, together with my group mates, Engine Cadet William Butantan, Engine Cadet Isa Ray Squadro, Engine Cadet Joseph Madaiton, Engine Cadet Keith Ortega, Engine Cadet JOBHANNE SACOL, Engine Cadet JETHRO PACIFICO, and Engine Cadet VERGARA CAMILO. So our topic for today is all about global village theory. So what is global village theory? This is the term of global village has been used to express the idea that people throughout the world are interconnected through the use of new media technologies. So, the world view as a community in which distance and isolation have been dramatically reduced by electronic media such as television and internet. All parts of the world as they are being brought together by the internet and the other electronic communication. So, there has been a technology such as Media and Internet Explorer that has developed and spread in different areas of our lives, such as YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and etc. In this age of globalization, it is very important and easily to be able to connect easily across the globe. So, 50 years ago, there is a man who wants to create a new type of communication that connects easily to the people across the globe. His name is Marshall McLuhan. The late Marshall McLuhan is a media and communication theorist coined the term global village. In 1964, to describe the phenomenon of the world's culture shrinking and expanding at the same time due to pervasive technological advances that allows for instantaneous sharing of culture. Herbert Marshall McLuhan was born on July 21, 1911 and died on December 31, 1980. He was a Canadian philosopher whose work is among the cornerstones of the study of media theory. Born in Edmonton, Alberta, and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba, McLuhan studied at the University of Manitoba and the University of Cambridge. He began his teaching career as a professional of English at several universities in the United States and Canada before moving to the University of Toronto in 1946, where he remained as the rest of his life. So, Professor McLuhan was who discovered global theory. So, his idea is to connect us easily to the people around the world to make our lives more stable and to easily socialize with the different people, different culture, in a different country. So, the global village. The assertion that it is possible for all the cultures of the world to become one global village is controversial. Though people believe that if it's continue, cultural globalization will lead to a dazzling marketplace where countries all economic opportunities are presented and where lead to fortunate countries to come and the aid of less fortunate ones with humanitarian efforts. The global village has been used to express the idea that people throughout the world are interconnected through the use of new media technologies. Global village describes the phenomenon of the entire world becoming more interconnected as the result of propagation of media technologies throughout the world. So, global village was defined by Marshall McLuhan is that the world became like a small world through technology. People can share, communicate, and get information wherever they are. However, this innovation way to connect has affection to the people as well as good or bad. And also, the global village stated that the village is fission, not fusion. So, it is very important that this person discover these things to make us united. So, what is the example of global village? Um, for me, an example of global village is all combined societies throughout the world. The world in a single community of interdependent inhabits who are interconnected. So by the use of contemporary technology, especially television, using the Internet Explorer, we can easily connect as one. So to continue this report, I would like to call on Engine Cadet Vergara.
So I'm Engine Cadet VERGARA CAMILO, and I'm here to discuss about the introduction of global village theory. And my discussion is connected from Engine Cadet ROMA and Engine Cadet Squadron about the global village theory. So for my discussion, it's about Marshall McLuhan's predict the global village. So this is what Marshall McLuhan said, understanding media in 1964. Today, after more than a century of electronic technology, we have extended our central nervous system itself in a global embrace, abolishing both space and time as far as our planet concerned. So what what Marshall McLuhan means about extend our central nervous system is that me, media and electronic devices extended anything our our capabilities as a human, because it changes how we think and how we interact with one another with the use of electronic devices like using mobile phones, computers. It's easy to interact with the people in other countries while using these devices with the use of Facebook, example, video call in Messenger, and others is Twitter to see the news all around the world. And next slide is that about the how Marshall McLuhan was the first person to popularize the concept of global village and to consider its social effects. His insight were revolutionary at that time and fundamental change how everyone has thought about media, technology, and communication ever since. So because of because of this, because of his insights about the global village and how he explained the global village, the people all around, or the people who read his book is change the thought about media and technology and communication. So they change the thought because they know that it can change how we think and how we interact with each other. Because of this, it can extend our capabilities. It changes how we think because of the electronic devices or internet that can make the world one. So next is he chose the phrase of global village to highlight his observation that that an electronic nervous system was rapidly integrated the planet. So what do you mean by electronic nervous system is, or also called the digital nervous system, is used to describe how the computer system used in an organization to could work together like a nervous system like humans. So this electronic nervous system is like a nervous system. It could work using electronic circuits and anything used to digital. It is used in the computers, like in the CPUs. You can see it is like a nervous system of a human. It's like a human, so it could work together to produce information, and not just information, can use to communicate with other people all around the world. So because of that, because of McLuhan's idea, have permitted the way we think about technology and media to such an extent we are no longer aware of the revolutionary effect. Revolutionary effect is concept had been first introduced. So because of that technology, it can be our it can change our culture, that we can never longer aware that it has been in our life ever since. So that's all about the how he predicted the global village. So thank you. So in my report, there are 4 questions about the global village. So it's about the what global village means in the world, how McLuhan concept about global village, how global village relate to globalization, how has the world became a world village, right, in an example with it. And first is, what does the world as a global village mean? So the term global village means all parts of the world as they are brought together by the internet or technologies, electronic communication or interconnection. Other forms of communication such as messenger, Skype, uh, the use of video calls in the messenger. It allows easier communication and connection with others, especially when the person that you are connected is in other country, because of the use of this application in the computer or smartphone, like what I've said, Skype, Messenger, and in America they use FaceTime. So next is, do we experience McLuhan's concept of global village? So for me, yes, because this is what McLuhan compares. McLuhan compares the global village to a central nervous system, explaining that society is interconnected by the influence of electronic technology. And this concept is so relevant, relevant until now. Even though media is more more in, immediate and more constant than now than 50 years ago. So that is what I said about if we have experienced the global village, the concept of global village. And next is, how does global village relate to globalization? So the global village concept has been brought about by the rapid development of information technology, or how how the development of technology all around the world, the global media, and a faster or lower cost of travel. It interstate the trade is not new, but the concept of global visas brought whole range of other factors in the global business interaction. So it is used to connect the people all around the world easier. So that means that global village is related to globalization. So next is, how has the world become a global village? Write an example. So what example I said is that world has become a global village due to the transport and communication. So that is also a globalization. People use many transport. Use many transports such as bus, cars, and ships in order to travel from one place to another for traveling purposes, or also the meeting of their loved ones. So the global village is part of this because they use electronic devices. And the cars also use electronic devices, and not just that, but also use radio. In the bus, you can put some televisions, and it is used electronic devices, and used to you can buy tickets through online, and use it use it when you are traveling all around the world. So that's all for the report of mine. So thank you.
Good day everyone, I'm Engine Cadet Esquadro Isari, and today I'm going to report and give examples about the global village. So first, what is the definition of global village? So the definition of global village is it is the idea that people are connected by easy travels, mass media and electronic communications, and have become a single community. So it is the connection or the connectivity of all countries in the world together, and allowing every individual to know about the happenings, events, situations, and living conditions of people in all countries. So the first example that I choose is the media. So the media have different branches, which are the internet, the television, the radios, the newspapers, and magazine. So the media is the one of the means of or channels of general communications, informations, or entertainment in society, as a newspapers, radio, or television. And also we have the example also is the internet. So the internet also brought the whole world closer together and turning the planet into a global village. So this is why the media also an example of global village. So in this age of globalization and access to information, the world has become a global village. And all these social and cultural forces of the media have the ability to change culture and political values worldwide. This does not mean that the media is all about updating news, broadcasting, and even advertising. This also means that media are also creating a homogenized global village. So, and in these ways, the media contributes to our sense of place by bringing the whole world into our homes. So the next and the last example that I choose is the transport and communication. So the world has become a global village due to the transport and communication. So the transport and communication is also the one of the best example of global village. So the transport and communication are a way for us humans to overcome the barrier of physical distance. It is an effective way to connect with people with no regards to the distance that separates them. People use many transport means like buses, cars, airplanes, ships, and even ships in order to travel from one place to another place for traveling purposes or for the purpose of meeting their loved ones. So transport generally involves the movement of people or goods from one place to another via a means of transport. So the transport and communication is the best example of a global village, because it helps to connect. It makes the different people from other countries and to people in the world to be connected. So global village, how does it global village or the global village and globalization connects? So global village also connects or relates to globalization, because the main reason that have caused globalization is to improve transport, making global travel easier, And for example, there has been a rapid growth in air travels, enabling greater movement of people and goods across the globe. So, in short, the global village is the combination or the connection of societies, the countries, and all the people all throughout the world.
Hi guys, so today we're going to talk about the attributes of global village. So I'm the reporter Engine Cadet Pacifico JETHRO Benedict. So first of all, we're going to have a short recap about the global village. So have you ever heard about the song Small World After All? If you have been into Disney or watched Disney movies, you probably heard of it. So because it is played in the background in some movies. If you haven't heard or you've never heard the tune, the gist of the song is that people all over the world share similarities despite living in different corners of a vast world. We are all connected. So first attributes of the global village is the communication system. Communication system Communication simplest form is essentially dying with the construction and use of this web of interweaving technology known as the internet. Unlike forms of communication of days long past, not everyone can get involved in this world wide web. The internet is a community that uses a simple, non-intentional form of segregation that limits the use of the internet to people who live in countries that have the ability to set up these online villages. The makings of this new virtual revolution is essentially separating people. So, the modern communication system covered the whole world into a global village as in the following way. So, number one is with the advancement of new technology, telecommunication has emerged in the field. Then two, radio, television, fax, and internet hence revolutionized the world. You can send message through internet within minutes or within seconds. So with the digitation of information, telecommunication has merged with computer to form integrated network through internet. Today, internet is the largest electronic network on the planet, connecting as estimated 1,000 or 1 billion people in more than 100 countries. Then the next attribute is the seamless sharing of information through electronic communication. McLuhan might be amused, vindicated, or horrified knowing that the global bridge is open 24/7. Youth currently spend an average of 6.5 to 8 hours per day interacting with a wide range of media including television, magazine, videos, games, book, radio, and the internet and cell phones. So, in fact, younger generation are often described as screenager instead of teenagers because they are always looking or interacting with some type of screen, often simultaneously. For example, in a typical week, at least 81% of teens report that they will engage in some form of media multitasking, using more than one form of media at one time, such as working on the computer and listening to music or talking on the phone. A number of recent reports provide additional supportive data regarding this pervasive media use. While television remains the most often used media, 3 or more hours a day of Generation M. Other medias are prevalent when the television is off. Then the second attribute is the last attribute is the convergence of culture. The phenomenon by which the experience of everyday life is influenced by the diffusion of commodities and ideas reflects a standardization of cultural expressions around the world, provide, propelled by the efficiency or appeal of wireless communication, electronic commerce, popular culture, and international travel globalization has been seen as a trend toward homogeneity that will eventually make human experience everywhere essentially the same. So, interaction between global and culture hold considerable implication for both societies and organizations. In this respect, economic globalization may exert an influence in reinforcing the ideology of individuals worldwide. As globalization promotes the flow of cultural practices and norms along with cross-border exchange of product and goods, both societies and organizations need to understand cultural implication of these flows in hopes for better interaction with other cultures and more efficient management in international organization. So that's all for my report. I hope you understand and listen well. So thank you.
Good day, sir. I am Engine Cadet Madaiton, and today I will be talking about the attributes of a global village. So, first, what is a global village? So, global village is the idea that people are connected by easy travel, mass media, and electronic communications, and have become a single community. And example of it is a global village is all combined societies throughout the world. So here's the picture. So this is what look like um, when the world is connected. So easy travel. So easy travel is an online platform where people around the world can access to it. It is made by a company to help people to access easy travel appointment around the world. So example, you like to go to Dubai to see the tallest tower, or you want to go to shopping mall there in Dubai, or you want to go to Canada for vacation. So you have um, you need to access the easy travel for you to have or to lessen expenses, or to have exact date or a very nice hotel waiting for you there, because it is job for the easy travel to accommodate you well and to give you very nice destinations. So, and not just in one country but around the world. um, it can be accessed around the world. So next is mass media. So mass media refers to a diverse array of media technologies that reach a large audience via mass communications. So the technologies through which these communications take place include a variety of outlets. So broadcast media transmit information electronically via media such as films, radio, recorded music, or televisions. So example of mass media is CNN. So news, um, yes, television. So um, it can be shown to a lot of people around the world to inform the people what is happening around the world. So what is happening now? Example, the war between Ukraine and Russia. So it is broadcast by CNN to inform all the people that they have conflict and the war is rising. So, and then recorded music. Example, music's from YouTube's, or no um, or other platform of music apps or online. So um, it the people are the people will we will search on the search engine what music we like, and then tadang, in just one click you can have it. So, and it is accessible almost around the globe. So that's why it makes the people connected, so they can listen the same music. Yeah. And then next is electronic communications. So electronic communications is any form of communication that's broadcast, transmitted, stored, or viewed using electronic media such as computers, phones, email, and videos, but each has specific uses and is better suited for certain scenarios. So, example, electronic communication. So, um, using cell phone, mobiles, or Apple. So, by Android, we can access Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, Twitter. Yes, and we can chat not just nationally but internationally. So, when we have friends out there, example in Canada, so we have friends there, so we can easily chat using Messenger or Instagram, Twitter, Telegram. Um, yeah, and that's it. So to make global village, so it is very um, useful, our technology today, because without it, maybe there will be no word global village existence. So
Good day, I'm Engine Cadet SACOL JOBHANNE for the continuation of the attributes of the global village. So, first is the concept of global village paints the picture of many individuals from different cultural, social, and economical backgrounds connecting together through various mediums. It is a positive convergence of progressing design technology and modern society. This conceptual term initially introduced by philosopher Marshall McLuhan explained how individuals will and currently do use technology to communicate and educate one another, regardless of other global positioning and physical whereabouts. McLuhan describes such continuous developments of worldwide interconnectivity by stating, just a book and their private point of view are being replaced by new media. So are the concepts that underlie out actions our social life and changes. This quotation recognizes the print media promotes individualism, an isolated experience where one reels alone that therefore is primarily educated through the same format. Considering this is, it can be understood that prior technological developments and the advance of the internet social media. So the global village consisted of the limited routes, social weavings and connections. And Marshall McLuhan's quote says that we live invested in an electric information environment that is quite as imperceptible to us as water is to fish. So, time and space nears irrelevant as new media allows for immediate and perpetual global connectivity. We no longer have to see the world and each other through the printed lines of the page. Due to the media platforms, we have instant access to Marshall McLuhan as social networking grows. We experience re-establishing through continuous sharing of ideas, experience, and opinions compared to prioritizing oneself with a slower paced lifestyle. It is matter of a single village being a forum of communication for billions of individuals through trade, finances, communication, sharing, debating, and education. As components of the village, we are recipients of daily educational information, learning materials, and experiences which must embrace rather than discourage. By accepting the global village as the expanding of framework that is, we can acknowledge and learn from the fact that media heavily influences the way in which we communicate and approach our own lives. Globalization no longer one only resides in the pages of books, as information access is beyond limitations. With the answer to almost every question, query, or concept at our fingertips, it is impossible to argue that new media developments are both bringing individuals together, while simultaneously eliminating the necessary for face-to-face physical interactions. The internet is global mass medium, a domain accessible via mobile and stationary devices that encompasses diversity throughout the world. McLuhan writes of new media being alike to a new language, a new codification of experience, collective collectively achieved by new habits and inclusive collectiveness awareness. These collaborative actions implemented by individuals across the globe are what sustains the nation of a developing global village. We have advanced into a bigger, busier society through avenues which we have available to us. No longer do we wait for the newspaper to be delivered or a letter posted simply because the instantaneous nature of the internet world that once was reliant books to educate, converse, and trade is now on elaborate, digitally independent virtual marketplace.
Good day, I am Engine Cadet Ortega KEITHE for the continuation of the attributes of the global village. So first is let's define the global village again. The definition of global village is the idea that people are connected by easy travel, mass media, and electronic communication, and have become a single community. An example of a global village is all combined societies throughout the world. So the world is a single community of independent and inhabitants who are interconnected by contemporary technology, especially television and the World Wide Web or the Internet. So example for that is the media. So first is, what is media? It is a plural form of medium or a means of conveying something such as a channel of communication. A plural form of media came into general circulation in 1920s. So came into a popular usage to talk about new social issues. So media is the main means of mass communication, such as broadcasting. Broadcasting is the distribution of audio or video content to disperse the audience via electronic mass communication medium. And next is publishing. And lastly, the internet. So, as a new generation, people use often now internet, searching for answers, searching for what's the news today, what happening to the world, what happening to the local. Just one click tap on your phone, you can see what's happening, and by clicking or sharing, you can spread what is happening. So, media messages carrying meanings and representation of the nations, allowing for conversation that makes it sensible to the citizen, articulate its characteristics, and discuss the prospects. So that's all for my about media. The next presenter explains much more about the example attributes of a global village.
Good day everyone, I'm Engine Cadet Butantan William Jr. and the topic that I will tackle is example of global village. But before that, let's tackle how has the world become a global village. World has become a global village due to the transport and communication. People use many transport means like buses, cars, aeroplanes, ships in order to travel from one place to another place for traveling purposes or for the pure purpose of meeting their loved ones or communicate with them. So, what are the examples of global village? An example of global village is all the combined societies throughout the world. The world as a single community of interdependent inhabitants who are interconnected by contemporary technology, especially television and the World Wide Web. And I know that it's still confusing, but for you to understand it more, I'm gonna elaborate it for you. So, As discussed, global village refers to the idea that throughout technologies such as of TV, radio, or internet, everyone in the world is connected, and thus allow us to overcome the limitation of physical distance as a whole, right? So the best example of global village is the world as a village, wherein humanities are connected even though not physically but virtually with each other despite the distance. And you can still communicate with other people, and social media such as FB, TikTok, Instagram are the instrument for us to communicate with other people and gather news around the world. Wherein people with different religion, nationalities, and personalities interact and feel far more close to one another, even if they are separated by vast distance. So the probably most common question that people will ask is, do we live in a global village? The term global village has been used to express the idea that people throughout the world are interconnected through the use of new media technologies. Today, the web is often seen as the medium that most closely joins people throughout the globe, allowing anyone in the internet connection to know what is going on around the world with the click of a mouse, and to communicate with individuals and group of people in far away places. That's all. Thank you.